But now the Final Fantasy series is getting back onto Nintendo systems, and who knows, with the Wii U coming out and it's supposed to have better processing power, maybe they'll start getting console versions there again. Who knows?
It would be cool. It would be something for everybody. Like, all three consoles would be powerful enough for that kind of game, for Square Enix's graphical, prowess.
Right.
Yeah.
But even aside from the Final Fantasy series, they've had several other successful series with Nintendo. They've had, of course, they've had Kingdom Hearts, which has had some handhelds. They have Chrono Trigger. They have, what is it, Fortune Street?
Well, yeah. Fortune Street, but I mean that's pretty much like Mario Party playing as Mario characters and Dragon Quest characters.
Yeah, but it's still...
So I mean you could definitely do a Dragon Quest character, I guess.
You could, but I don't feel... See, there's so many to choose from that it's really hard to find somebody who sets themselves apart, and that's why I feel...
Which in a way is probably one of the reasons why they're going to choose to go with character, like custom characters as well. So if you don't like our roster, well, put in your own character. Like if you want Phoenix right in there, put him in yourself. Which is actually what the hacking community has already done.
Oh yeah, totally.
And they're probably going to do it again when they hack the Wii U.
I'm sure.
I mean, okay, I'm just going to say this. I hacked my own Wii as well, but not for piracy. Not for piracy. But when you hack the stuff, you can actually do a whole lot of crazy stuff that nobody would even imagine that you could do. Like, a lot of the characters that they do have for, for Brawl when they hacked it, it's pretty mind-blowing because, you have Lloyd Irving, you have, Dark Samus, you have,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good stuff, yeah.
So, yeah, we're not just talking texture hacks, we're talking about complete movesets and stuff. So if hackers actually manage to do this with the Wii U as well, I mean, it would probably also kind of defeat the purpose of having custom characters as well, but, I mean, as a feature. But, I mean, really, if people are going to be complaining about, the rosters, just put them in yourself. I mean, it's hard. It's definitely hard. You have to learn all this, hacking stuff in order to do it, potentially. But when you do it, the character's in there, so be happy.
Another thing about the character customization, I feel like it was the final nail in the coffin to the DLC debate, honestly.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
DLC?
Because, I mean, if there was going to be any huge feature like DLC, I feel like they would have announced that. But instead, the big new character feature is going to be creating your own character.
Yeah.
Why would they put in DLC now? You can create whoever you want.
Well, developers... Well... I mean, the DLC could actually be, you could post your own DLC.
Exactly. That makes sense to me. I think another thing they should really expand on is their stage creation mode.
Oh, yes. It was so limited in the last game.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of building blocks. I think it'd be great if they really did, a full-on, stage customization type of thing. And then, have that kind of thing be user-made DLC.
Yeah,
preferably one where you don't have to hack your Wii to do it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I get a lot of people arguing to me about, DLC characters being the thing of the future. I really am against DLC characters in fighting games in general.
How so?
It doesn't seem to work out for me. I mean, if you're adding...
because the fighters are the crucial part of the game, It's like... You want to have the whole game there. You don't want to have to go out and buy part of the game.
Well, exactly. It's like if I'm looking at Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they had Shuma Gorath and Jill Valentine as DLC characters. They're great characters, but I mean it's just two characters, and you had to just pay extra for these two characters.
Well, you don't necessarily have to. You won't necessarily have to pay extra. I mean, that's not on the table yet.
Well, okay, if it's free DLC, then sure, that's not extortion. But then here comes another thing. If they have a bunch of characters who are DLC, who are they going to put in the next installment? Yeah. What are they going to have to add to the game that you can't just get on the old game?
Or I mean that's kind of the point of assist trophies too.
True, you need to have assist trophies.
I'm not sure I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Could you rephrase that?
If you're making okay. Let me think.
Okay, picture this. You've got Super Smash Tussle, whatever it's called after this. Super
Smash Brothers Ruffing.
You've got
Super Smash Brothers Bar Fight.
You've got a 50 character roster, and they've made you've got all the characters there, but you know what? It would have been great if they hadn't put in Toon Zelda and instead they'd had Vaati, or they'd had Onyx, or instead they'd had Tingle. Well, guess what? Hey, you can just go download them. You can even download you can download a Deku if you want, you know? Just whatever character you want. Okay, new system comes out, and they need to make a new game, which means they're going to have to expand on the game, make it better, give people a reason to play it. So they go to add to the roster, and they realize, wait, they can just download any of them and put them on the old game.
Yes, but I guess one thing that you could really do, or what they could really do with the custom characters thing, is that they could get like logistics data from it. Like they could see which characters are popular, how many of these characters are constantly being made and duplicated and what have you.
So that makes the DLC obsolete.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying though. It's
that's what I got.
I'm sorry. Okay, I guess I'm just bad at.
You should really put Chuck Norris into the next game.
That's actually a cool idea. But anyway,
Okay,
I guess I just didn't explain it very well.
No, I'm sorry. I interrupted. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. But what I'm saying is that it could be a stats thing. They could see which characters are being created the most and stuff, and from that they could see, okay, maybe if we take the characters that are being like the most popular or that are being the most created and stuff, and then we could like expand on their moveset and stuff like that, and then put them into the next one so they don't have to keep doing all this stuff, and the cycle can keep repeating itself. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I mean, I don't think it would be as much trouble as what people are being wary about personally. I mean, I think it could work. Like they just get stats on these characters, and they can just see which ones are popular, and then just put them in the game for us, so we don't have to do it ourselves.
I think what would happen at that point is people would just play the version that they've created that's customized to their style. I mean, if they've created, like, maybe they want their Samurai Goro to actually be, only 30 pounds and really, really fast, which wouldn't really fit with him at all. But if they've already created their own version of them that they have a personal attachment to, and that is created to fit their playing style, why would they then just go, oh, well, hey, I'm not going to make characters anymore, and then go download a version of it that's pre-made for them?
Well, I don't see how that's so problematic personally. Especially for the competitive
there'd be much
metagame.
motivation to go download these characters if they could just make their own,
I have to ask, how powerful are we talking with this character customization feature?
I honestly don't know, because they've announced almost nothing about it.
My honest guess about character customization is it's going to be limited.
Yeah, there's more building blocks probably.
I'm guessing it's not going to be, like, if I'm comparing it to other fighting games character customizations, like things like Soul Calibur character creation, it's probably not even going to be as powerful as that.
Yeah, I think we're going to have plenty of reason for other Smash installments, because it's like we're saying, you can collect statistics, and if every single person wants, a My Little Pony character, then they'll include one
Rainbow
with actual animations, actual, polish, and mainstream kind of, this is an actual character, not just a horse.
Okay, so they could create that for the next thing, but that wouldn't really be DLC.
No, it'd be...
Putting him in the next game is a great idea. I agree with that. If, it seems like people really want him.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo will ever go for DLC with this game.
If they do, I think it'll be for things that are more flavorful and more less essential to the core mechanics. Things like stages or music or something like that.
Decorative things.
Well, they did it with the stages in Brawl.
I was gonna say earlier. Would not be surprised to see costumes versus palette swaps in the next game.
That would be really nice, actually.
Yeah,
or maybe things like different taunts, maybe downloadable taunts.
That's cool as well.
Although I don't know how hard that would be to change the taunt of a character. How much would that have to change their engine?
Oh, I don't know. They just add another animation to the character, just kind of a tack on, I think.
Or just
use new costume.
Or just use pointers. Programmatically speaking, they could just use pointers.
Yeah. Wow.
KP knows what I'm saying.
I think DLC would be great for things that aren't, fighters, since they're so crucial to the game that's what everybody wants in the first place.
Right. Like, I don't know, like, if I was to make, like, an analogy, it's not a very good one, but I always think of, like, if in Rock Band, they add new songs, it'd be like if all of a sudden you could download new instruments to play as. You know.
Well, I can see how that would be a little problematic.
Yeah.
But for Smash, though, it's more abstract. So I think in that respect, it could work. I mean,
it's a pretty bad analogy.
It's not as severe. It's not as severe as having to shell out $80 to play an instrument, but
yeah,
it's not as bad.
It does kind of feel like extortion because it's like it's a part of the game that I don't get unless I pay for it.
So I mean, I guess this is what I say. Would it work? Yes. I just don't think, in my personal opinion, I don't like the route as much, and I also think, but just looking at it from a spectator standpoint, it's probably just not going to happen anyway, is what I think.
And we've seen how DLC in fighting games has gone down before. Like, weren't people like really upset at the?
Well, at Soul Calibur 4 with the Star Wars characters, and people were not very happy about that.
So, getting back to
do we want to go back on that? Okay. Going down the rows of characters. Next would be the Zelda characters.
Zelda.
We probably should have done Zelda characters from the get-go.
You think so, huh?
Somehow we jumped to third party. I don't know. Whatever.
Zelda characters are so hard because you have Link, you have Zelda, you have Ganondorf, and to be honest, those are your characters that recur the most.
That is true.
So, and that leads to people just adding all these other one-shot villains, which are cool, but I don't think they make much sense in a way for series representation. The ones I see the most, the one that I support the most is, they got Toon Link, and I actually like that idea because he's so different from a personality point that it's actually not hard to make him a different enough character. I think they just need to declone him even more.
I think he's just a substitute for young Link personally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it was just. I think it was just because
I feel like he took his place in the roster, but I don't think he's a substitute. Because if they wanted a substitute, they would just put young Link back in.
I think
it's more.
I think they just did it to keep the fanboys from complaining, because there are a lot of people who play as young Link, and if they took young Link out, they would be like,
wait, no, I don't think so, because they had even worse problems taking out Roy and Mewtwo from a fan base standpoint.
Yeah, right? but Lucario kind of replaced Mewtwo. They're kind of similar.
Well, Toon Link kind of replaced young Link.
Yeah.
Well, okay, where's Roy's replacement?
I got you there.
There we go.
A lot of people were complaining.
What I feel about Toon Link is
he does have a replacement, kind of. It's Ike. They're really different though. But
they're not similar in any way.
They are really different, but it's still Fire Emblem representation, and I can probably see where some people would be placated by that. But at the same time, I can also see where people would be like,
all right, but what about Dr. Mario then?
Well, he was kind of like exactly the same as Mario anyway, so it's kind of. I don't know.